Here's an example of what I've been up to for over 10 years, if not longer. I think 10 years in this regard, because keep in mind, I was indoctrinated into the bullshit system you were. So here's a gal that promotes some witchery, this, that, and the other thing, some black magic, some tarot, some things of that ilk. Also, bear in mind, I'm still drunk. At least as far as I'm aware, and it may be on the decline. It should be in theory. The longer it goes. Either way. She's wearing a t-shirt that's got a bullshit UFO on there, which means she's promoting test tube alien horse shit. I grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's not a far shot from Roswell, New Mexico, which it's the bedrock of fucking propaganda in terms of this goddamn agenda. So as it reads, meanwhile, and she's chastising somebody in a how do people put it here in Portland? Keep Portland passive aggressive. Don't do the right thing. Don't challenge each other. Heaven forbid we have checks and balances. We don't want to fucking do the goddamn right thing and, see that things get better. We want to make sure that things get worse. We want to see more dudes in dresses. We love these goddamn Tom Selleck mustaches and these, who's well known for fucking sideburns, because I saw a fucking dude in a dress today and holy fucking hell. I don't know. Either way, it's a shit show. Back to point. Meanwhile, it says quiet. It should say, quit promoting test tube alien, quote unquote alien propaganda. Dig ya, but that's horse shit. Put in place to pave the way for a one world religion. This agenda dates to the 16th century. Most people haven't figured any of this out. Most people aren't going to fucking look into this. She may not look into this. The reason I'm highlighting this is what I've been up to in small degrees. On a small scale, in terms of challenging people who are in my quote-unquote inner circle and or close to it. And if you're not doing that, you're not doing the right thing. There are no checks and balances. You haven't looked into it, which means you don't know. And if you have, and you're not doing this, you haven't reasoned shit out, because there are clear-cut answers to reality. This is fucking horseshit. You would know that if you dug deep. If you put in the time, you reason things out. I'm not saying a superficial Google search. I'm not saying you read a book and you were convinced. You believed in something. There are a lot of factors in this case. Keep in mind, I'm not spelling it out for you guys, because that's not the point either. If I thought for you, a bunch of superficial fucking retards would just regurgitate it verbatim, like goddamn space monkeys. From Fight Club. They wouldn't think for themselves. They would just start a new religion. This is why Mormonism has legs. Because you and I are surrounded by fucking idiots. The point is for you to dig into this and to skim off the fat of numerous subjects until you start to see what's what. If people, the vast majority, if the moral majority, if all these goddamn idiots that you and I are surrounded by, that make up the fucking bastards who are holding us back, effectively supporting and maintaining and promoting our masters' adult fairy tales. More importantly, the official narrative, which is in place to manipulate, mislead, etc., 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 all of us. This applies to so many goddamn things across the fucking board. It's not even funny. If you think of aliens, you think of dinosaurs, you think of that fucking agenda for 2020 that I'm not allowed to talk about, especially on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, which means freedom of speech doesn't exist. It should, it would, but it doesn't, because nobody's fighting tooth and nail for that type of shit. Which means our masters are only circulating what they want you to fucking hear. The same applies to the your feed, the slush pile, the top of the fucking stack. That's what you see, that's what you know, that's what you assume you know, that's what you fucking circulate, which means you circulate our master's adult fairy tales. You circulate the official narrative, because most of you out there are fucking retards. It's not easy to hear, but it's what you need to hear. And the chances are unlikely that you will hear this message on a number of these social engineering platforms because it's the DARPA internet. It's our master's internet. Don't fool yourself. You and I, it's not for the people, by the people. If you've heard of a country, it's a corporation. If you've heard of the internet, it's run by the trilateral city-states to limiting degrees. It is not in place to serve you and I. It is not in place to better you and I. It is in place to manipulate and mislead you and I. That's what the fucking internet is. Pull your head out of your ass. Connect some of the dots. Put in the time. Do the right fucking thing. Think for yourself. Etc., 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 and blah, 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 blah. And that's probably all you heard is the latter. Because most people are dumber than a fucking box of rocks. But as always, what
like bring out
the fuck photos, do I know?
Show me. Like bring out the family photos, Queen. Show us the family tree. I would love to see it.